When it comes to the battle between Washington and big tech, Facebook and Google aren't the only companies in focus. Senator Marsha Blackburn chairing the first ever Senate Judiciary Committee Tech Task Force meeting today, hosting a roundtable with the privacy chiefs of Snapchat, Salesforce, Mozilla, and Match Group. Senator Blackburn joins us now along with our own Elon Moy. Elon?
Courtney, thank you so much, and thank you, Senator, for joining us today. So let's start with this privacy roundtable. Why did you call these companies in particular to come to Capitol Hill, and what did you want to find out?
Yes, Senator Lindsey Graham, who chairs the Judiciary Committee, was looking holistically at what is happening in the virtual space, and he said, you know, we need to do a deeper dive on this. So he turned to me. I'm one of the first women to ever be a Republican on the Senate Judiciary Committee, and he said, why don't you take this chairmanship of this task force? I was honored to do so. We called them in and said, look, we want to look at how privacy works in the virtual space, because one of the #1 complaints from Tennesseans that I hear is they feel as if they have no privacy online. They're exposed. Their information is exposed. So we had Snapchat, Match, Salesforce, and Mozilla. And the good thing about this is it let us see how privacy is working with these companies for those that are preteens, teenagers, young adults, and adults who are in the job market. And Mozilla, which is a privacy by design company that works with all of these.
And what was the tenor of the conversations? Obviously, there's been a lot of heated rhetoric from both sides of the aisle against tech companies just this week on Capitol Hill. What was that discussion like?
Our discussion was really so instructive and informational, and doing it as a task force or a working group. You are sitting together and members are asking questions. It's not like a hearing where everybody gets an opening statement and everybody gets 5 minutes. This was the opportunity to have dialogue and to have very constructive dialogue. And Senator Coons and I did a little bit of a mini gaggle, if you will, with some of the reporters, and just talked about how we are looking at the issue of privacy and getting some protections in place for the American people.
Senator, thanks so much for joining us. I'm wondering whether you're concerned about just making sure companies adequately protect the data they have collected from consumers, e.g. from potential hacks, or a more severe change where consumers start to own the data that's been collected from them.
Well, and we talked about each of those. I think as you enter this discussion of what privacy is going to look like online, you have to talk about harms to the consumer. You also have to talk about how long you capture and hold data and what the protections are going to be for that. Indeed, as you say, let's put a privacy framework on the books. What we did get some agreement on today is this. Everyone thought the FTC should be the regulator, and they really agree with that. One regulator, one set of rules for the entire internet ecosystem. They all like the idea of having opt-in if you're talking about more sensitive data, opt out for less sensitive data, so that you're giving the consumer the ability to control what I call their virtual you, which is their data and their presence online. And I think you're exactly right. We're going to move to a day where the consumer owns their data. They've figured out they're the product when they're using some of these online apps, and that their data is very valuable, and they want to own that data. And it doesn't matter if it's healthcare or financial services, or if it's their social media interactions.
Senator, thank you very much for joining us.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
Elon, thank you also for bringing Senator Blackburn to Closing Bell. Up next, Microsoft's earnings call.